The execution of Order 66 came as a surprise toward its countless victims, as many Jedi were caught off guard and shot down by the very troopers they had trusted their lives to. Among the Masters and Knights were also the Younglings who were not spared despite their young age, with a group of clones actually firing up an entire academy dedicated to Jedi initiates. The group of clones that arrived at this Jedi Youngling school was entirely by accident, as a few days prior to Order 66, the group of clones and their Jedi generals, Kakruk and Giselle, were supposed to transfer to Maikito. However, during their transit, they were ambushed by separatist forces out of the dark, forcing them to land near a Republic-friendly world to make repairs. The planet they landed on happened to house a Jedi Youngling Academy, where the forthcoming Padawans were taught in the ways of the Force away from the Central Temple on Coruscant. When the Jedi generals and their troopers arrived, the Younglings were excited to see the clones, amazed to see the soldiers of the Republic in person, and eager to hear their war stories. While the clones made the needed repairs to the damaged ship, Kakruk, Giselle, and a few other clones made their way inside the academy and relaxed for the first time in months. While the Jedi were down to relax and appreciate the moment, the clones were only eager to getting off planet and back into the battle, although a few seemed to be quite friendly with the Younglings inside. However, this peaceful atmosphere soon changed, as while Kakruk was sitting back and watching the clones interact with the Younglings, he felt an odd disturbance in the Force, which made him uneasy. As he watched, the clones in front of him began to prep their gear and weapons, before clarifying on communications if even the Younglings were to be targets, to which case they were. And with that, the clones began to fire upon everyone inside the academy. Kakruk quickly threw himself at the nearby clones, cutting the first trooper in half. The other Jedi Masters there attempted to defend the Younglings as they made their escape, but they could only buy a few seconds before they were shot down among the Younglings they failed to protect. As Kakruk witnessed all of this, he almost lost himself to his rage as he began flying around cutting down all the clones like a wild beast, beheading and slicing them up as if they were mere battle droids. Eventually, he was able to grab the remaining Youngling survivors and escape with them, while the other Jedi Master he came with, Giselle, sacrificed herself by holding the clones back inside, eventually triggering a detonator and causing an explosion that took her life. Back on the shuttle, the Younglings were in a panic and began to ask all sorts of questions as to what had happened, and all Kakruk could respond with was, "I don't know," as he himself was as shocked as them. Eventually, the still damaged shuttle crash-landed on a remote planet, where the Jedi Master and the Younglings would remain safely for a couple months, before being attacked by a group of criminal thugs that also crash-landed there. Once again, Kakruk let the beast from within him out, as he took out the thugs that threatened the Younglings, scaring many of them as they saw their guardian turn into a wild beast once again. Finally, after all that chaos and death, they all made it safely to an abandoned Jedi outpost, which became their permanent home for the next couple of decades, with them all likely surviving to join Luke Skywalker's new Jedi Order once it was formed. Thanks for watching this video. Help support the channel by becoming a member on our Patreon page, and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. And as always, may the Force be with you.